All right, now here's the new improved setup. Notice how tidy it is. Probably stay like this for a couple of hours at least. There's the speakers tucked away, and there's this Moog which is out of the way. It used to be kind of over here in a big clutter. So I've got 2 stacks left and right, 3 stacks in the middle. And this, are you ready for it? I put the power thing up. I never even knew it would do this. Are you ready? Ah, isn't that the best? That was so necessary, so needed. I had no idea how much difference that would make. Because I've been fishing around with a little flashlight, and it was quite a revelation to see that you could actually illuminate the whole thing and get her going. Now, the only loser here is that there's no, what's that, ARP thing, the 2600. That's not part of the setup for right now. But I could set it over here. I could get it out. I could plug it in if I, got inspired to do something 2600 wise. But for the moment, the lean clean is kind of where it's at. I've made this preliminary kind of patch here just to test out my... This is kind of cool. It didn't turn out quite as nifty as I thought it would, and it took all day to make these. They're little aluminum shelf things that I hacked up and drilled out, and I got some cheapo, 3.5 mil sockets to put in there, and I used the only wire I had, which was way too heavy, and I don't recommend doing this yourself. Anyway, it's kind of a setup where you can, like, this is number 1 over here, and it's feeding these oscillators from this sequencer. So the sequencer out is going into like channel 1 here and channel 2, so row 3 and 4 up here. And the wires disappear around the back out of the way of this business here, and they come out over here. So far this has been working out pretty good. Like I say, the wire was too heavy, so it kept breaking the tangs off these cheapo deals inside. So live and learn, I guess. But I think there's a lot of potential here. You could sort this out and make it more effective, and just kind of save a little bit of clutter, not a lot, as you can see. Now this kind of patch is pretty weird. I mean, I just kind of made it up as I went along. And as you can hear, it's not amazing, but it's a start kind of thing. I don't even know where to begin. We got 2 rows making 2 oscillators that are going into here, left and right, and there's some panning, which is coming from the 4 LFO. And then, let's see, there's no buchla or tip top in here except for the... Okay, so where's my other oscillator? There it is. Okay, so that oscillator out is coming up to stairs, which is being tweaked by a bunch of other stuff, and then from stairs it's going into this reverb and out to panned left and right here. And anyway, this one of these other rows is doing the VCA on here, or the filter on this, which is almost functioning like a VCA because this is 10 volts. It's actually cutting it off and back on. I mean, I can freak it out pretty easily here. And also there's this kind of ramping up the speed here, and that's coming from an attenuated mixer here. I've got 3 LFOs going on stairs, or on steps, or whatever that thing is. And then one of these rows is just one of these 281s here, this quad gen. I'm using it as an oscillator. Okay, and I'm using this oscillator. So I'm using one of these I'm using part of the quad gen as an oscillator, and it's coming into the 4-play VCA here. And the VCA is being triggered by the clock, or rather the clock is triggering an envelope, which is because I got the tick-tock from the clock. It was too much attack. But with this envelope, it kind of opens and closes a lot more smoothly. So I'm not so sure that, it's the most amazing patch, but it's the first one in the new setup. And putting this thing up here like this, I think really made a difference, because it was too, even with the knobs being so close to the table, it's a hassle. And now it's a lot easier to get to, and just makes me feel more like doing stuff. Whereas before it was always a fidget, everything being on the bottom row. So having it up in the air is a good deal. Having the lights is a big plus. This thing's a marked improvement. So what else is... It's a shame about the 2600, but, I just need a bigger house. That's all there is to it. So what else was I going to bring up here? All we need now is more skill and imagination, and I suppose practice. So anyway, I guess that's it for this one. I may hook this up eventually. And I'm going to bring some of these... Oh, yeah. In the back here, I've got this is kind of hardwired up now. So I've got two outputs that are right here, so they're handy to put into this thing, so I don't have to string a bunch of wire, which is I think it's... Anyway, the clock, the DIV, and this is brand new. I have not used this thing yet, but to hook it up and see that it works, but it's a clock that has... It's a clock out, clock divider, clock in. It'll do some kind of shuffle thing. But I've always wanted one of these, and I wonder why they don't just, a lot more people make these. It can't be that expensive. But it's got, say if you want your whole deal to be 126 beats a minute, there it is. It's like that, and then you can clock it out to multiples or whatever. It's not a PAMS, but it wasn't $400 either. So I'm really looking forward to getting this tuned up. And I've kind of got the clock thing going now. Let's see. Where is the in coming from this? Okay. Yeah, I'm using the reference out on this. And the reference is tied to the timer as the same as just the regular pulse clock out. So they're in tandem. And then I can take a division off here. Then this is 5 steps, and it's running at, a quarter of the clock or something. And this is in 4 steps, this main thing. So that's why we're getting a sort of offset rhythm there. Anyway, that's it. Oh yeah, and there's a little reverb coming here from the stairs, which is a dual filter. And then that's just left and right. And I do have I did try some, there's the digital thing out here. Anyway, that's it for today. Just wanted to show off the new deal. I don't know about this color here, but it's really nice to have. This is so slippery. And as you can see, I kind of couldn't figure out the height here, so I had to block everything up, measure twice, cut once, all that business. So there it is. I'm pretty thrilled, mostly about the lights. Look, brighter, softer, brighter, softer, brighter, softer, brighter, softer. Anyway, that's it for today. Good luck, everyone, and we'll see you on the go-around.